All right, how's it going, everybody? We're going to talk about something I like to call the virtual wind direction that occurs in Gulf Flash. So let's get into it. So let me see here. So we got the wind kind of going in that direction. Crosswinds, say the wind that's going in this direction, yeah? So when we play in crosswind, we make no additional adjustment. We use a classic ring formula. We put that into a calculator or do it in the head or however arrive at our numbers. And then we have a reasonable estimate of how far the ball is going to be moved in crosswind. And the headwind, in this case, we have a headwind. In the headwind direction, the wind is going that way. So if you're faced with a headwind, you're going to put those same numbers in your calculator, but you're going to add additional strength by adding in elevation, because everybody knows in headwinds or tailwinds, there's an increased effect. Gulf Flash applies to the wind in head and tailwind direction. So really, instead of that wind, you're going to get a wind that is stronger. But what my argument is that because it gets stronger in the headwind direction, and the crosswind portion of the wind remains the same, the resulting wind direction will be like this. So, and that's what I call the virtual wind direction. The difference between this and that angle, the difference in the direction that Gulf Flash is pushing your ball. So you need to pull to account for this virtual wind direction. So let's get into it. Let's look at some shots and see how it goes. So lining this up, but what my calculator would do, the calculator will tell you the pull angle required. That's different from the Gulf Flash wind arrow, to follow the virtual wind direction. So I have that here. So it's saying 9 degrees off from the main Gulf Flash arrow. So I'm gonna make a pull. Very strong 11:59, 9 degrees off from the 12 o'clock direction. Just to be able to land where we're aiming, which is the very top of that mound. So we got 10.4 wind, typed in 135 degree wind direction. And we make the shot. All right, and it hits the top of the mound. Okay, and let's take some other shots. So like this is, all the rest of the shots are gonna be with this hole, the Porthello Cove. I don't remember the number, but I call this the effing hole. But the setup is the same. My adjustments for this, if you can see it here, is 40% elevation, 60% slider, using APOC 5. And in this shot, it's saying I need a 9 degree pull difference from the 12 o'clock wind. So in this case, it's going to be 11:59 pull, 9 degrees off on that. So 9 degrees represents where even when it's swinging back to 12, it doesn't even get back to 12. So you can see a very strong 11:59. To be able to hit that spot that I'm aiming at, which is the interface of the sand and the bunker for the rough bump. And make the shot. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, same setup. This is a different shot, but kind of similar. So we're 40, again, nothing has changed. The adjustments I'm using are exactly the same because I'm using a wind-based model. 40% elevation, 60% slider, The calculator automatically calculates the virtual wind direction and saying it's at 7 degrees. So let's take a look at that. Again, this will be at 11:59 pull. Now 7 degrees represents more like just about approaches 12 o'clock at the rightmost swing. So it's just fully 11:59.
Must pass, but I'm not gonna wake up.
Okay, let's go to the next shot. Same direction again, same wind set, same settings again. It's going to be 40% elevation, 60% slider. You can see now it's saying it should be a 5-degree pull off from 12. So 5-degree represents where it'll just barely flicker past 12. People will call this a 11:59 with flicker. All right, let's get the next shot. Okay, so now we got from a different direction. So I'll pause it here. The first 3 shots that we saw coming from the left, but they were headwind. So now we're going on the tailwind side. Same thing, 40% elevation, 60% slider. I'm using a P1 ball in this case, navigator, showing I need a 5-degree pull. Again, 5 degrees is where it's going to flicker. And it's extremely to flicker just past the 12. This is going to be a 11:59 pull. And I'll explain at the very end how I know if I need to pull 11:59 or 12:01. And this I'm doing a little pause here. And what I'm trying to do is I was trying to look as I pulled. I'm trying to see how much elevation change I get on the pull. So it's a quick visual I'm looking at. I pause right there and I look at it. And I see, okay, I gained a little bit of elevation. So on the shot, I probably apply a little bit under par. Because a wind model is gonna, I know if it was a flat ground, I'd be pulling correctly. Now, all I need to do left is to just make adjustments for the elevation change. Okay, the next shot. Okay, same setting, 40% elevation, 60% slider. That setting never changes. The wind direction model is doing all the calculations for you, saying you need a 6-degree pull. So 6 degrees is going to be where it's more it doesn't flicker over. It's at the most, it's going to point straight up at 12. Again, 6.2 ring pull. And as I pull, I'm consciously looking. I still see the bullseye on the sand, so I know that there has been the elevation change. I don't need to compensate for any elevation changes on the pull. I'll take a quick peek to make sure. So that means just a centered pull.
Perfect shot.
Now if you break it, I can take it. I don't need a crowd.
Nice on.
Okay, something a little stronger, but still same. Nothing changes again. It's just the wind angles are changing. I'm looking at what the wind angle should be. In this case, I said it was 42 degrees. This time it's a 7-degree pull angle to align myself up with the virtual wind direction. 7 degrees is where it does not flicker or come straight up. It always stays on one side of the 12 o'clock. So 11:59 pull, 7 degrees. Calculator says 7.6 pull. Same thing, I do a quick check to make sure I didn't climb up on the rocks. I still see them on the sand. So no elevation change required. No compensation for it.
If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry.
Okay, now just a little strong, so we can look back and see what the pull angle looked like, and most likely I didn't pull correctly at what was required, the 7 degree. So we can look at the wind angle. And you can see it kind of starting to point straight up, so just missed the angle. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next shot. Okay, this one, it's a little different. So this shot is gonna be headwind. Same thing though, same setting, 40% elevation, 60% slider. Just put in the angle for the wind, 140 degrees. Now it's saying I need a 9-degree pull. So that's gonna be a very strong, this is gonna be a 1201 this time, where not even coming close to coming back to 12. And this one is, I definitely put up to a higher elevation because it went onto the green. So there'll be some underpower applied.
Perfect shot.
Yeah, I could have used a little bit more underpower on that one, honestly. Yeah. Same thing, look at the wind angle, see one of that 102 degrees. Making the setup. This one is just saying I just need a 4-degree pull angle to align myself with the virtual wind direction. So this will be a 1201. And now it'll have some amount flickering back over 12, but most of it needs to stay on the 11:59 side. So we're looking for a 1201, but yet kind of centered, but yet still facing a little to the right. So I would call it a regular 1201. And I'm taking a peek. So you can see that big mound in the back right of the green. So I know I have to make some amount of compensation for that increased elevation. So I'm gonna underpar. So I went up halfway. So really overlapping the teeth, halfway to the inner, just where circle breaks. Okay, same-ish angle. This is saying a 7-degree pull. 7 degree again, representing where it doesn't point straight up. It's still always on one side of the 12 o'clock. So I'm looking for a 1201 pull. Very strong 1201. Now looking at checking to see the elevation again. Now I see him at the very peak. And I couldn't remember how much to underpower, so kind of remembered. So the other one went circle break, and I didn't approach circle break on this one. So I needed to be more underpower. So I'll go a little long, but I think we got fortunate on this one because the headwind in this case. So it came out okay. And these are going to be interesting ones because these are now we're going to be pulling onto the mountain. So this will be showing that we need a 3-degree pull. So again, it'll be a basic 1159. Most of it swinging on the 1159 side, but there'll still be a decent amount swinging over to the 1201 side. So I already have these in my notes, so I kind of know I need to go 1/3 up the inner wall whenever I hit the level of that green, the level of that first landing, I guess. Yeah, so I didn't underpower enough. But the line, the north south line was very good. Just because the wind direction model is going to put you back on line. Okay, this is going to the other direction. So 7-degree wind angle. So we need 1201, again, not flickering. And I know that when I pull to the top portion on the highest level, I need to get to 3/4 up to the outer wall. Okay, and this one is just to show that if the setup is good, you can. There's other options you can do too. So this is a basic ball. Because it's basic ball, the slider equivalent is 70%, but still the same elevation, 40%. So you need a 14.9 ring pull, 9-degree angle, and this is gonna be 1159. So again, a very strong 1159 where it doesn't even approach getting straight up. And because I pull so much into OP, I want it to be as accurate as possible, so I just decided to reverse slice it. And I didn't pull 100% OP, so I back off some OP a little bit to get back to that 75% OP.
Nice art.
Yeah, so I just want to back up and show that pulling into the OP. Okay, so that if you're pulling correctly, you're pulling at the right wind angle, pull angle with the right pull angle with the right distance to pull. You know you're gonna go back to your spot, but it also tells you a reliable measure of OP. So I know that's why I know I'm at 75% OP. I'm 75% up into the OP band. So I just need to apply 75% OP on my pull. And so this wind direction model and applying the and pulling at the retro wind direction even works the opposite. When you're pulling into tailwind, you can push forward and you can know and get more reliable push-ups. But so just to cover it really quickly, how do we know whether to pull 1159 or 1201? And so let's take a look. So you're gonna have some headwind, you're gonna have tailwind, you're gonna have some crosswind, one right, left to right, crosswind right to left. But then you're also gonna have some wind that's in between the two. So you're gonna have a tail cross, maybe like that, another tailwind cross going the other direction. You're gonna have headwind, that's a mixture. You have another headwind, that's a mixture. So, but we also talked about, and everybody knows that there is a greater effect on the headwind and the tailwind side. The golf flash requires you to pull a longer pull because there's a greater force applied in the headwind and tailwind direction. And so the actual wind will kind of look like this. like this for this tailwind shot. It'll look like this for this headwind shot. So what you can see is that the actual virtual wind direction is just simply always closer to the target line. It's in every one. So that's it. The virtual wind direction compared to the golf clash arrow, you just always pull to bring your ball back to the north-south direction. You always pull to bring it back towards the target line. So I just wanted to cover that. The general topic of the game mechanics in Golf Clash with regard to the virtual wind direction. All right, thanks for watching.